Hi everybody, I'm Kelly. We're meeting here today to do a very brief intro to restorative yoga. Restorative yoga is all about your nervous system. And if you know me at all, or you've seen any of my other videos, you know that the nervous system is a big passion of mine. I feel that most of us are walking around in fight or flight quite often. That's your sympathetic nervous system. Restorative yoga is to help you get into your parasympathetic nervous system, where we rest and restore and help remove you from fight or flight. If you are someone who tends to walk around in fight or flight most of your day, welcome, friend. I see you. I understand. That's why restorative yoga has become passionate to me, because I, like most of you, are walking around in fight or flight. The more you practice restorative yoga, the goal is that you start to really be able to feel the rest and restore response in your body, and you can find a way into it more easily within your day, instead of just always having to do it during a restorative yoga practice and feel good for the time you're in restorative yoga and for a little bit after that, but that it actually starts to sustain itself a little longer into your day, and you can find your way back to it when you notice your sympathetic nervous system taking over into a fight or flight response. So this is going to be a quick one. My full restorative yoga practices are close to an hour, a little bit on either side sometimes. This one's going to be much shorter. We're just going to do a couple of poses so I can kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. In regular restorative yoga, we're holding poses for up to 10 minutes. We're only going to do about 3 here today in the couple of poses we're going to do. I still think you're going to feel an effect from the restorative yoga practice today. Okay. So I always start my restorative yoga practices with a couple of diaphragmatic breaths. I have a meditation pillow. You do not have to have a meditation pillow. You're going to see what happens when I sit on the meditation pillow. It raises my hips up so I can sit up straighter and get a nice deep breath. It elongates. I don't have to have these buttons right now. It elongates my spine and helps everything just move up and down a little bit more with ease. In a diaphragmatic breath, the goal is to take a nice deep breath in through your nose, and you will feel your body come inwards. Sorry, went backwards on that. Nice deep breath, and your body is going to expand with that breath. This is why I usually have everyone put your right hand on your belly, your left hand on your heart. And that deep breath, I feel my belly expand. I feel my collarbone open up. I feel my ribs expand. And then on the exhale, out my mouth, I feel everything come in. My belly draws in. My collarbone becomes softer, closer together. My ribs draw in. And most importantly, our body goes, oh, we're slowing down. Because the reality is most of us aren't taking nice, deep diaphragmatic breaths all day long. We are often taking very short breaths, especially if we're in fight or flight. When you are feeling stressed out in the middle of your day, a nice, deep diaphragmatic breath gets oxygen to your brain, and it instinctively tells your system to slow down. So we're going to do 2 or 3 of those together right now. So be as comfortable as you can be, either sitting on a pillow or a bolster or a block or a blanket or nothing at all. That's up to you. All right. Again, to fully tap into your nervous system, you have to be willing to let everything else go. So if you're stressed about which prop to use or what position to be in, that's not going to get you into your nervous system. This is yoga at home. This is a video. No one's watching you. If they are, they should be people that love you and they don't care. The goal is to find safety and support for your system. It's not about the props. It's not about the perfect position. It's about your nervous system. Okay? So we're going to do a couple of diaphragmatic breaths together. I am going to close my eyes. If you are safer keeping yours open, then I want you to do that. Otherwise, feel free to close your eyes. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. In through our nose and out through our mouths. One more. In through our nose and out through our mouths. If you had your eyes closed, you could open them. You may already feel a little different. Your brain definitely has more oxygen than it did 3 breaths ago. So hopefully you feel some of that. So we are going to move into a supported bridge pose. I'm going to put my meditation pillow to the side, and I'm going to bring my bolster in. You can have a bolster, you can have a pillow, you can have blankets rolled up, whatever works best for you to support yourself in bridge. You'll see me use this bolster. We're going to put it under our hips. Often supported bridge comes with a block. You're welcome to use a block. We're trying to make this as comfy and cozy as possible. And so a bolster is a little softer, feels a little more comfy, cozy for me. Again, you get to do what you want to do. I am going to button myself back up again, though, so that my sweater doesn't pull aside. It is a nice, comfy, cozy sweater. It's a little fleece on the inside. Feels warm and comforting. I also like, you'll see in other restorative videos, I also like a good hood in restorative yoga. Probably not going to use it today because we're doing this so quickly. But if you like to use a little hood to protect you even more, please feel free. Okay? So we're going to get onto our backs. And I'm going to have this bolster ready. And I'm going to just lift my hips up and bring the bolster underneath my tailbone so that I'm lifted. I am going to drop my knees in towards each other so they're not even having to support, my legs aren't supporting themselves. My arms are out to my side, and I'm going to deep breathe while I'm here, dropping into this pose, letting myself melt into the ground beneath me. Deep breaths in and out. They don't have to be as deep as that diaphragmatic breath, but you do want to stay as much as you can in your parasympathetic nervous system. Rest and restore. So to come out of a pose in restorative yoga, we want to move very, very slowly. That's what it's like to end a pose with a nice deep breath. And then I'm going to lift my hips up, move this bolster up from under me, and come down on my back. We are going to roll onto hands and knees very slowly. And we are going to come into a supported child's pose, which is my favorite. It may not be your favorite. So the goal with child's pose, I like to have a bolster. Again, you can have a blanket, anything that rolled up sorry, I already said blankets. You can have blankets or a pillow, whatever feels the most comfortable to lean over on. I would like you not to go all the way to the floor, if at all possible. I'd like you to have some support here, okay? Now, I'm sitting back on my knees. When I move forward into child's pose, my tail's gonna come up a little bit. If this is hard on your knees, or if you don't like to have your hips back onto your feet this way, you can use a couple of blocks to actually sit on. So it's lifting you up a little bit, and then you can lean forward from here. Or you could have a rolled up blanket or towel here to provide you some support. Whatever, again, feels the best and supportive and safest to you, okay? So I'm gonna remove both of these. We are gonna hold this for, again, about 3 minutes instead of the 10 that we would normally hold it. So maybe your knees won't protest quite as much, but I want you comfy and cozy. And if at any point in time in a restorative practice or any yoga practice, you need to remove yourself from a pose, please do that. You can lay in a fetal position. You can lay in a position that just feels supportive to you. I don't ever want somebody forcing themselves into a position that does not help your nervous system, okay? The goal is your nervous system. All right, so we're gonna get into a child's pose. Halfway through, I'm going to have you move your head to the other side. So whichever ear you have on your bolster or blanket or pillow to start, we're gonna move it to the other side about halfway through, okay? So again, deep breath. On the exhale, we're gonna just fold into this bolster. Maybe your hair falls across your face. We're not clenching the bolster. My hands are open. And I'm just falling into this, melting into my bolster. And continuing to breathe deeply. Deep breath, and slowly move your head so your opposite ear is on the bolster. And continue deep breathing. All right, a deep breath. And then you can lift yourself up to hands and knees. I'm going to keep my bolster nearby because we are going to move into Shavasana. I had a little bit of a fight or flight response in the middle of my beautiful child's pose when I realized I didn't even cue you what to do with your legs. So I say it now. In extended child's pose, our knees are out to the sides. I'm hoping that you could see that. And our toes are touching. It's a great practice for me to be able to just let that go and find my way back in. I don't know about you, but in both of these poses, I could feel myself sinking in right about the 2-minute mark. When we do a long restorative pose, we're doing it for, like I said, 10 minutes or more. That really allows you to fall deeply into that pose. If it's taking a couple of minutes to actually let yourself fall into it, for your body to feel safe enough to do that. All right, so we're going to fall into Shavasana. I'm not going to fall into it. That sounds terrible. We're going to move ourselves into Shavasana, and I want this to be a very supported Shavasana. So you can have all the props you want to make that happen. I'm going to have a bolster for underneath my knees. I'm actually going to put a nice, fluffy, cozy pillow at my head, and I'm going to have a nice warm blanket that I am actually going to cover myself up in, even for our short Shavasana today. But this is the goal of restorative yoga. Let me wait so you can see me put my bolster under my knees. It's always supposed to be incredibly supportive. Shavasana generally is supportive. It's simply lying on the ground and surrendering. But in restorative, we want it even cozier. Okay? So as much as you can do to make this cozy, this would be the perfect time to do this. In fact, I might. So we're going to lean back. I'm going to have my head on the pillow. I'm going to have my legs situated with the bolster underneath. I've got the blanket covering my toes, arms out to my side. Deep breath. And I sink in to the earth. Continuing to breathe deeply and allowing yourself to just rest. We're going to end this video in Shavasana. You are welcome to stay here as long as you would like. Continuing to breathe deeply, allowing your body to continue to rest and restore. But for now, this is where I will leave you, putting my hands over my heart, thanking you for joining me today and for giving me this honor of working with our nervous systems together. Take good care.